I'm going to be switching out my ignition and my door locks to have all one matching key. The reason why I'm doing this is because this key is just kind of jammed in here. Everyone knows with the old Nissans, they kind of wear out over time. So this isn't even the right key for it. I just kind of jammed it in there and got it to work. But it doesn't, it did come out. But you can literally stick your fingernail in there and turn it on if you wanted to. So I'm going to be doing that with the matching door locks. That way everything's ran off of one key. So I got a U set. Key works for both the door locks and the ignition keys. There's going to be one key for the whole car, which is kind of what I'm going for here. Move these plastic covers so you can access the ignition switch. Next, you're going to come in here and remove this connector. I don't even have mine plugged in because the chime that you hear when the key's in the ignition is annoying as shit. So I just leave mine unplugged. After that, you're going to come over here to this little Phillips. You're going to take that off and you're going to pop this whole little electrical circuit out. Alright, so after you get this little screw out, you're just going to come up here and literally just going to pull right out. Make sure that your lock cylinder is in the off position. That way you're not fighting to line this little dial up when you put the new one in. It's going to get a little weird. You can see I have a bolt in mine, but from the factory they put threaded studs in. So there's really no way to turn them. So the easiest way that I've found to do it is get yourself like a flathead and a hammer and just kind of notch it in so you can screw it off with a bit driver or even a screwdriver if you have like the little wrench attachment on the back. But yeah, that's the easiest way I found to get off, and then you just have to find new hardware to put in when you put the new lock cylinder in. After you get this bolt out, this bottom piece separates. Top piece comes right off, and you're going to notice a little connector on the back. You just have to swap that over onto the new one. No big deal. Old one, new one, just going to swap this little piece over and then throw it all back together. So like I said earlier, you're going to need new hardware. I'm going with hex key bolts, that way they fit inside and don't hang out. So find some hardware that works. I believe they're 8mm shank by 1.25 bolt or thread pattern. So once you find two that work, you're ready to throw it back in. After you get the two bolts in, it's mounted. Next thing you're going to do is line this up. Like I said, just make sure both the old one and the new one were on the lock position, so it should slide right in. Screw in there, come over to the other side. I'm not plugging that in. Make sure all your harness is plugged in, and then should turn the key and get some shit, and then test fire. Good to go. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Fuck it. It works. After you know it works, turns on, cranks the whole 9 yards, comes out, blah 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 blah. Next step is the door locks. Now, you're going to want to take the door panels off. I don't run door panels because race car. But yeah, make sure the window's up, door panels off. Now the door locks get a little tricky. You do not want to break these clips. But basically there's going to be a rod like this on the lock. You're going to pry it back, slip the rod out of the holster, and then this one just slides up after you undo these two nuts behind the door. Same exact thing, just on the car. That, where the hell is it? Ugh. That pink clip, you're going to want to swing out and pull the rod this way. There's two nuts, one right there, one on the other side. You're going to pop those out, slide this up, and you'll be home free. Clip undone, I'm going to pop this out, and you can see right in there. Get a flathead, stick it in there, and kind of pry on it gently. It'll pop that clip out, and just reach your hand in through this way, and then pull it towards you. See the clips popped out, and just pull this rod towards you. It should slide right out, just like that. This hole, trying to focus, but yeah, you get my point. You can get that bolt through there, this bolt right through here, slide that whole piece out, and once you slide it up, that bottom rod's going to come up too. After you get them two 10mm nuts out, you're just going to have to wiggle it out through this way, like this, and then, like I said, you pull up and that rod for the actual door handle pops right out. You get the whole handle out, there's going to be a ring around the lock right here. Just get a pick in there and kind of pry it out. That's what's going to free up this lock, and it slides right out. You can see you're just basically pulling the ring over this little hump that holds it in. So get the new one, whatever, let's use this one. But yeah, so basically same thing. You're going to line up the tab, pop it in place, take that off, and now your lock is set. Going back in, just reverse the steps. Make sure that that pin lines up where it's supposed to go before you even get the thing in there. That way that's already lined up. You don't have to worry about it. And then just kind of wiggle it back in. Come on, you fucker! Just basically just wiggle it back in, and then make sure these tabs line up with the holes. Bolt it up, throw the lock rod in, and you're good to go. Door handle rod's lined up. Get those 2 bolts in. Slide the rod in place, and same thing. Take the screwdriver and just kind of hit it that way so it locks in place. Finally, just make sure the key goes in. Make sure it locks it. And make sure it unlocks it. I'm not going to go through the whole passenger side, but same exact setup. 2 10mm, hit that rod out of the way, hit the other rod out of the way. Pull it out, do what you got to do, throw it back in, fucking whatever. If you thought the video was helpful at all, hit that subscribe button. Also going to be posting videos of the exhaust bash bar, eventually drifting this thing once it's 100% done. So yeah, just stay tuned.